Hey, good morning. Welcome to Talkback. I pushed the button, but I didn't have the volume turned up. So thank God for small favors, I guess. That no telling what we're going to say around here. We're having a great time. Even though it's raining, we're singing in the rain here at KSYL Talkback on Thursday morning, the last day of April. And then it's May. Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
It's going to be May.
Isn't there a punchline?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, it's going to be May. But everyone says it's going to be May. Yeah.
What is he singing?
You know the song?
I don't know the song.
Okay, just get it up real quick.
Okay.
Just type in It's Going to Be May song. I don't know. What is the name of that song? It's Going to Be Me, NSYNC, NYS.
It's going to be me. Okay.
But, yeah.
Should I play it?
Yeah. I don't think it's
all right,
bad.
Here we go. Make sure there's not a commercial playing first.
But, yeah, May is coming up. Hard to believe. Can't believe it.
Well, I guess...
Well, we tried. And then, of course, big holiday, May the 4th.
Okay.
You know that song.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I am so sheltered when it comes to pop music.
That's like 30 years ago.
Again.
Okay.
The further back you go, the more sheltered I was.
Oh, okay.
I actually went to the Michael Jackson biopic the other day with my daughter and enjoyed it. I really, honestly enjoyed the entire thing. And I hate that it ended in 1988. There's a whole lot more of his life to explore. But, man, it gave you insights into the guy's youth and some of the difficulties and maybe why he made some of the decisions he made later, with whole Neverland Ranch and like a missed childhood that he felt like he missed out on, and the creativity that he had. I mean, I really came away impressed with his his creativity. The role was played by his nephew, one of his brother's sons, and they made him up. There we go. Made him up, and he looked just like him. And obviously, I'm not a big fan of the hip thrusting and the crotch grabbing and all that stuff, but it seemed like it was showmanship, and I enjoyed that. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. The further back you go in my life, the more sheltered I was. Today, I'm willing to go see a Michael Jackson movie. So,
well, in person, your shirt looks great, but on the thing, it looks like you are a pop star. It's very glittery. It looks like you got a bedazzled shirt on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You see it?
Yeah. No. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially when I move, that's that effect that cameras have with plaid or houndstooth.
We could never wear striped or pinstriped or anything on TV. But yeah, okay, glad it was a good movie. I kind of haven't heard much until about a couple days ago. People were posting about it. So.
Yeah. Apparently it opened well across the United States, and it's going to make its money back plus some. So
that's good. That's good.
Good deal. Well, it's also International Jazz Day today. So if you're interested in jazz music, there may be something for you out there. And do you like jazz music?
It's okay. Yeah.
I like it when I'm in the mood for it,
Yeah.
Like if I want to read something or if I'm just kind of chilling and maybe enjoying a quiet time, not my Bible quiet time, but just a downtime.
Mm-hmm.
And so jazz obviously celebrated the International Jazz Heritage Festival down in New Orleans, which is no longer just about jazz. It's every kind of music under the sun. So I think the thing I like the most about jazz, and I played a little bit when I was younger, is the improvisation that happens. I mean, typically, once they learn a song, they improv it till it sounds just right. Well, then they'll keep doing that. But the improvisation that takes place with jazz music, I think there's something special in those brains that allows us to have that.
I like it and stuff, and it's not like my go-to, but I do enjoy it, but it just kind of seems everything, like you said, is made up.
Yeah.
Kind of nonsensical sometimes. So.
Yeah, it is. I think that's the randomness of it.
But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's about right. So big news around the United States. I heard this morning, I didn't realize how far sweeping the ramifications of the Supreme Court decision on Louisiana's case with the redistricting. They're saying, I listened to one podcast this morning that said this could potentially affect and swing up to 20 seats around the nation. Maybe not in the 2026, but definitely by the 2028.
Yeah.
And so some are saying, I heard on the news they're calling it the Trump court this and the Trump court that. In my mind, if it was the Trump court, they would have done it soon enough. Most of the states have their districts locked in for the fall elections. And here's my question does Louisiana have its district locked in? Because we have an election coming up in 2 weeks, like 2 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah. So the Supreme Court voted 6-3. What the news reports say is it renders ineffective Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. How this affects Louisiana, District 6, it was the district that was created a couple of years ago after a federal judge said that 2/3 or 1/3 of the state's congressional maps should be minority-majority, saying that the state's population is 1/3 black as well. So the legislature had to draw some maps. They came up with one where District 6 runs through parts of Shreveport, through Natchitoches, through Alexandria, all the way down to parts of Baton Rouge. So it looks like a little snake across the state of Louisiana. I mean, if you look at it, logically, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it was something they were forced to do by a federal judge, they claim. So, of course, that brought forth legislation, and it went through the court system. Supreme Court struck it down, saying that it was racially gerrymandered, considering it was redrawn on the basis of race. And so now everyone's trying to figure out those who are against the map. Can we get the election suspended somehow to where we can prevent the current Democratic congressman, who is black, Cleo Fields, to run again? Or is it too late? So we're trying to see all the reports. It's a confusing situation as these legal processes are, and we shall see what happens.
You've done a great job of staying on top of it. You reached out to Cleo Fields' office for an update, hoping to hear back from them, because he's quoted as saying that in response to it, if you tell me I have to be white to serve in Congress, I can't do nothing about that. I need some help from my government. And you have that on your update. So we're hoping to get him to call in. There's a lot more about this story we want to unpack, and I got into it earlier. Normally, we're very light in the first 15 minutes, but I got into it earlier because I thought there was so much to talk about. Got some clips to play for you, but right now, let's go to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I'm very excited about it. I can barely contain myself because I believe this is an indication that traditional American values has won the war of ideas. From what it looks like, the Democrat states, and I called in when this all started months ago with the 7 or 8 Democrat-controlled states that had already gerrymandered their states to where these were states that are close to 50% Republican but have 0 Republicans in Congress. They've done all they can through those methods. Now they're having to win hearts and minds with ideas and arguments, and their main argument is socialism. Mondami is their main celebrity, and so I'm hoping that this is the salvation of our country from the ideas that were going to be destructive to it, because they've proven destructive everywhere else they've been implemented. And so I'm hoping that Clarence Thomas and his comments are true. This is the only way for people to live where everybody gets a say and the minority is not oppressed by the majority, is through honest debate and the separation of powers that our founders designed for us. And I'm so thankful for being born when I was born and not having to do the work that they did. But my goodness, when you look at the different results around the world, we just have to be thankful. We have to be thankful, and we have to be awed.
I did think about your comment yesterday, ideas have consequences, and you said it again today. You say that a lot, and I don't know if there's a better example of that than what happened coming out of the Supreme Court.
I don't think there is. And I'm thankful. I'm humbled because I know I don't deserve this. And I don't think we as a country deserve the grace that we've been shown. But it's not that we're better people, because I know I'm not a better person than Cleo Fields or anyone who thinks that he should have to be a certain race to run. Just come up with better ideas. Clarence Thomas is a man of ideas. And his ideas are irrefutable. And that's why he's risen. Even though a lot of people don't like him and they won't give him the props he deserves, man, read his biography. He started out as leftist as you can be. And he was conquered by ideas. So then he came around and now has conquered by ideas. And I think we owe a lot to people like him and Booker T. Washington and people that refused to take the low road and instead pushed themselves to come up with arguments that could overwhelm the oppressors when those people really faced oppression. You know, today, I don't think anyone is facing oppression for racial reasons, not to the nth degree the way those men did. And yet their greatness could not be contained. And I'm in awe. I'm so excited that I had to call in. Anyway, thanks. Y'all have a great day.
You too, sir. Let's go to the next line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning. Appreciate those comments, but you can't. The ruling is simple. You can't use discrimination to cure discrimination. It's the same thing why affirmative action doesn't work and has been outlawed. DEI was wrong because it wanted to do the same thing. We have to be one people. We have to be treated as one, and we have to look at us as one. And that's why the Democrats try to divide all the time. That's why they don't like the ruling. It's the same thing that the media does, is to try to divide in order to get an edge up so that they can get power. We have to be looked at as one and treated as one and think of ourselves as one.
Well, this
you can't use discrimination to cure discrimination.
That's a strong statement, and I appreciate you saying that.
I think we have two good examples in Central Louisiana because, and I think that's a bit of a thank you, kind of a shallow statement from the congressman.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the city you represent, significantly majority white city.
Right, 70%
voted for a black mayor for how long?
22 years.
Yeah, because he was a good leader. And he believed he had good ideas.
5 terms unopposed. Yeah. I mean, he had good ideas. And if ideas have consequences, as Dave said,
and that's in the Deep South. And if you look at Alexandria, it's majority black. And the mayor has been white the past, I'd say, 12, 13, 14 years of the past 20. And so it's just, I just don't know if that's the best way to look at things.
Well, if you lean towards, and this is where I think the Democratic Party may have a significant issue, because they've leaned so far left into the Marxist ideology, which is not supported by a majority of Americans. And now they have to fight with that idea on its merits, not just because we have more cards in the bank. So let's go to the next line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Hello, this is Perry and Andy Grimes.
Hey! Man, I am so glad you called in. Stephen, let me tell you who this is. This is, you're in a carload full of people, right? You and your mom and...
Mother and sister, yes, sir.
Yeah, let me tell you who this is. This is amazing. I love this story so much. Amy Perry Grimes commented the other day that she wanted to give some positives in the world. And one of the positives was listening to Talk Back. And so she commented that they love to hear about the new businesses, new growth. And so Chad Soprano downstairs said, thanks for sharing. And she said, bravo, Chad, on such an awesome morning team. The kids and I start every day with Talkback. It's the only news they really hear. They even know the hosts and regular callers now. So I said, that's awesome. They should call in one morning and let us know it's them. So this is them.
Well, thanks for listening. That means a lot.
Tell me your first name again.
Perry Grimes.
You're Perry?
Yes, sir.
Tell me who else is in the car with you. You just give us first names.
My little sister, Andy.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. And my mom.
And your mom. Do y'all listen every morning?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, that is great. And and you already can identify some of the regular, you probably know UPS Dave, right?
Yes, sir. We tried to beat him this morning.
Yeah, that would have been a great opening line. I'm glad you called in this morning. So how long do you get to listen to us?
About 10 minutes-ish. Okay. While we drive from home to school.
So it's the first 10 minutes of the show, pretty much.
Yes, sir.
Well, very good. What grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
7th grade. Have you ever thought about going into radio?
Not necessarily.
Not really? What do you think you're going to do? Steven says, good choice. No, I'm kidding.
Smart kid.
So I want to do sports.
Oh, yeah? What do you play?
Basketball.
Good deal. And you're in the 7th grade. Do you mind telling us which school you go to?
Country Day.
Country Day. So how's your team this year? How was your team this year?
We did pretty good.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the right people at the right time, I guess.
Yeah. But there's always next year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, man, you keep practicing shooting those hoops, shooting those free throws. Your mom got anything to say?
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for all you do. We love it.
Amy, thank you so much for calling in. You have made our day. You and Perry and his little sister, Ava. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. We were just talking when the other callers were calling in. Perry said, "Oh gosh, they got on Congress. Now I don't want to talk about that subject."
I don't blame you.
I cannot thank you enough for calling in. Literally, this is a highlight of the week for me. I appreciate you guys calling in.
Well, thank y'all for all you do. And Stephen, we're going to go get one of the snow cones soon.
Oh, and take a picture.
Okay, we will.
And tag Stephen Maxwell TV.
Right. It'll change your life for the better.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for your calls.
Thank
We've
you,
got
guys.
to take this break. We'll be back after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. It's a deal that could reshape the apartment market in the U.S. Avalon Bay Communities and Equity Residential are said to be considering a merger. The two companies are among the biggest apartment developers in the nation, and it would be one of the largest real estate deals ever. Given the size and reach of the companies, a deal between Avalon Bay and Equity Residential would also likely draw heavy antitrust scrutiny. Checking on the markets, the S&P 500 is on track for its best month since 2020, gaining more than 9% in April, thanks to gains in tech stocks. Big winners today include chipmaker Qualcomm, Eli Lilly, Royal Caribbean Cruises, and Google parent Alphabet. They're all giving a lift to stock futures this morning. However, shares of Facebook parent Meta are taking a hit in the early trade. Investors are worried about the company's artificial intelligence spending spree. CEO Mark Zuckerberg didn't give enough details about how Meta plans to make a return on its investments. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Good morning. Cloudy skies for the most part today. We'll see the sun poke through from time to time. We do have about a 40% chances of showers during the afternoon hours. 69 the afternoon high. Tonight, 60% chances of rain. Overnight lows down to 56. And then Friday, 100% chance of rain and a lot cooler. Afternoon high temperatures only near 60. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Someone will call in.
Hello. Good morning. Well, I'm still floating from that call that we just had with Amy and her son and her daughter calling.
Well, they're at Country Day. I hope they didn't have to see me dance a couple weeks ago for the thing that they had. So.
Well, they may have, and I'm sure they're grateful for you doing that for them. So. Oh, shucks, right?
Well, I doubt they are. So.
I doubt, man. You undersell yourself. All right, let's go back.
This is the one instance that I'm absolutely correct in my self-deprecation. So.
Okay, well, but I was just saying, I know they appreciate you doing that.
Okay. I try and get you to do it next year.
Yeah,
you'll be retired with time.
Yeah, no, I got no moves.
Baptist don't dance. So.
Well, I've danced in church before. But,
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, Pentecostals probably would.
Yeah. Pentecostals love it. Yeah, we high step it. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You'll talk back with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning, Nathan. How's it going?
Doing great, man.
Well,
Can you top that last call?
You're floating right now.
I am, man. I'm telling you that.
It bodes good. As Rush Limbaugh used to say, another young skull full of mush waiting to be molded.
That's true. Well, that mama's doing a great job right there.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. There are people who was called in earlier talking about something about people and get involved in their government. Do you ever watch the Matt Reed interviews?
Well, there's a lot of people that do it. Which one in particular are you thinking about?
Where they ask about about the U.S. government.
Yeah, and the
both
ones that people
federal
can
and
almost
state.
never answer correctly.
I mean, how about what are the three branches of government?
Exactly. It's scary.
How many Supreme Court justices? How many senators per state? Do we not teach civics in school anymore?
It's
It
stunning.
used to be half a semester.
Yeah.
Or a half a year.
Well, my son is taking civics right now. It's actually listed as one of the classes he's taking. And when I was in school, you might have the same experience. It was free enterprise for half a year and civics for half a year.
Well, they called it private enterprise, I think.
Okay, well, mine was called free
Either private or free.
Mine was called
something.
free.
I mean, you're right. Those and as kids, we were bored out of our skulls with this stuff.
No, that was my favorite class.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's great. Well,
I hated all the others.
I enjoyed the civics more than I enjoyed the free enterprise.
Well, it takes a special kind of teacher to make that interesting.
True.
A very
Because
special
you gotta-
coach
I mean-
in most schools.
Well, you joke, but I mean, could you see it say, and this would be something they could do, set up 9 of the kids as Supreme Court justices and make them wear black robes and wigs. Well, they might actually have fun doing that.
That's right.
Menard had their
Yeah.
mock trials a couple months ago. It was pretty cool.
Our civics
Oh, so we're training lawyers. So good.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, one of the, and I've talked about this before, one of the favorites, and Nathan, this goes, you remember this, Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, of course. I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill.
But someday I'm going to be a law.
That's right. That's exactly right. That was
And,
great stuff
you know,
on Saturday mornings.
But it is refreshing to hear a mother having her kids listen to y'all on the way in.
Well, I'm telling you, bro, it made this may be my highlight of my entire time at KSYL. Well, that and interviewing my dad, those two things will be at the very top. So,
But yeah, that was a good one, and I missed most of Dave's stuff. I just tuned in, got up, made my coffee, and tuned in a little late. But
well, shame on you. I'm just kidding. You know,
he's usually pretty good.
Well,
But,
I'm gonna say his
you know the
ideas have
irony-
consequences. Will ring with me for a long time. Go ahead. The irony of what?
The irony that a Republican-run legislature created a second black district, and the Supreme Court slapped the Republican. Basically, it's slapping the Louisiana legislature and say you can't use race to create another black district.
Well, and as a previous caller said, you can't use discrimination to cure discrimination. That was such a great, poignant statement. We're going to play a piece from State Representative and Speaker of the House Pro Tem Mike Johnson a little bit, where he talks about he voted against this at the beginning and he argued against it, and he's glad to see it overturned. So we'll play that in just a little bit. So not all Republicans were for it, but seems like there was a push to get this through. No, we just wonder why the reasons are.
Yeah. Well, I'm just reminded of what Walter Williams, the late Walter Williams, said. The one that he said, I tell all my black friends that are crying, he said, the civil rights war is over. The good side won.
Wow. Okay.
So,
well
I think,
said.
I think that was. Yeah, he said that. Go look up some of Walter Williams' say. He has some great ones.
Very good. I'm tagging it
Him
up
and Thomas Sowell both.
Yeah,
But y'all have a good.
I appreciate you very much. We got to take I got time for one more call. Before the break, let me do that real quick. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Stephen and Nathan, man, good morning, guys.
All right.
Talkback is addictive. You guys make it that way, and I've enjoyed listening to the conversations, and the kids listening in is awesome.
Isn't that great?
It is. I was just going to make a general comment that, the cure to a bad idea is a better idea.
God.
And we are a nation, we are a society of better ideas, and better's always better. And whatever those kids are pursuing, the wisdom, the knowledge they have, better's always better. And I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great week.
Thank you, sir.
Man, thank you for that. I'm going to have to keep a log here of the great statements from our listeners. The cure to a bad idea is a better idea. Ideas have consequences, and you can't fix discrimination with discrimination. That's 3 amazing insights from our callers this morning. And I got another caller on the line, but we got to take this break. So stick around.
Well, you know how you
Thank
pass a bill now, right? You just sign an executive order.
Oh, well, to get past the stranglehold, right? All right, let's take this break. We'll come back with the next caller right after this.
KSYL. Great things are happening in Pineville. In just over a year, Mayor Joe Bishop has focused on what matters most: improving streets and drainage, strengthening city services, and supporting our police and fire departments. He's worked with business owners and local leaders, supported local growth, and kept Pineville moving forward. Now there's more to do. Let's keep the momentum going. Vote Joe Bishop for mayor.
I'm Joe Bishop, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Joe Bishop.
You smell that? Spring. Hibernation's over. It's time to run it. Run it until the grass becomes lawn and the hedges duck and cover. Then, run it again. Still, get up to talk back.
All right, welcome back to Talk Back. Having a great time this morning. I'm writing down the noteworthy statements of our callers. Let's go back to the phone line, see if there's another one. Good morning, caller. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Stephen.
Hello, sir. Morning. How are you?
I am better than I deserve. I have a question for you, Nathan, and I do not want to rain on your parade. I happen to know Miss Amy Perry. I watched her young man play baseball. There was a post made last night on Facebook by a pastor claiming that women ruling over men is not a process, but a judgment of disorder. According to this pastor, the Bible says women shouldn't rule over men. I need to know if that's accurate, and I'd like to know your opinion on that, Nathan.
Okay. We are going to talk about that after our guest at 8:30, but I mean,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll tune in then, because I just like to. I haven't asked my pastor yet. I just like to know somebody's opinion, and I trust Nathan, to tell me what's right and wrong. So I'll tune in then, and we'll just get your opinion then.
I'm honored, and that's a heavy weight. We definitely we felt like it was necessary conversation because we're getting filled our inboxes with it. And
I just want to say this too, like the reason why we're going to talk about it is because the brother is running for mayor of one of our talk about it at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
That very much. Thanks for your call, as always, and I'm humbled that you trust me. So we need to circle back around because we have some unfinished business to do with the Supreme Court decision that came out, and I think one of the things and I just lost it. I got to go back and find it. The decision by the Louisiana legislature to create that extra minority majority district was not veiled. It was very open. This is what we're doing. And the Supreme Court is saying, as one of our callers said, you cannot use discrimination to fix discrimination, is how the caller said it. And I thought that was a great way of saying it. But you had a chance to talk. How did you talk to state representatives?
It was Zoom. He was at the he jumped out of a committee meeting in the legislature to do some quick interviews.
Okay, so that was such a great segment. I felt like it was important to play here this morning and let people hear that perspective. So if you guys will give me 1 second, I'm going to get this queued up, make sure it's not muted, and listen to State Representative Mike Johnson, Speaker Pro Tem, share his thoughts with Stephen Maxwell on Semi Updates.
Well, it's a decision we expected to receive and that we should have received last June. And it's clear that the districts were drawn illegally, and the courts now finally confirm that they're unconstitutional. I mean, it's racial gerrymandering, as the court has found, and they have to be thrown out. This case has been overturned and remanded, or sustained and returned back to the district court to address that issue. And we're going through the opinion. We're meeting with the Attorney General and the Solicitor General. And I'm certainly pushing to move as quickly as possible. I'd love to see something that would affect the election this fall. so that we don't elect another illegal district.
So you still think there's a chance that could impact who represents District 6?
I think it could, and certainly I'm going to be advocating for that as much as possible. Like I said, the ruling just came out about an hour ago, and it leaves a lot of the footwork to the issue now to the district court. But I'm certainly going to be arguing. I voted against this bill, against this map. I've argued against it ever since. I've been to the Supreme Court twice to argue against it. Fortunately, the Supreme Court agrees with us. And now it's a shame they didn't rule in February. We came in to try to give them additional time so that we could have a clear understanding so that the maps would be drawn for this election in the fall. There's some legal problems with doing that with a short period of time, but I'm going to be arguing with all my might that it needs to be done so that the voters get to vote in legal districts for the next congressman in our area.
So is there like a backup? Like, do they have to go and draw a map, a new one? How does that work if they're going to get it?
You may have noticed, I actually filed a bill this session in hopes that the Supreme Court would rule, and it basically re-implements the previous map. The map we spent 2 years working on after the census came out, the map that kept Rapides Parish whole, and the one that represents our people and I think the fairest way. Now, if they open it up to maps, certainly there'll be other maps. So it's a pretty good task. There's an easy route, but we have 105 members, and certainly they may have different opinions. The governor may have a difference of opinion, but this is a big step today towards getting fair maps drawn for the entire state, but particularly for Central Louisiana, which we don't have now, and which the Supreme Court confirmed that we were right, that they were unconstitutional and illegal maps.
And thanks to one of our local sponsors, Spurgeon Law Firm. Remember, in a jam, call Sam.
Well, it's a decision we expect.
There we go with the piece there from State Representative Mike Johnson, Speaker Pro Tem, who eloquently expresses his opposition to it and where he felt like it fell short, and why he voted against it to begin with. So there are a couple of things that play into this now, and we've got just a couple more minutes before we need to take a break if you want to call about this, but I want to kind of circle back around and talk about the latest breaking news, which is, and you said it to me just a moment ago, that the word on the street is now that the governor is looking at suspending the primaries. Now, You scared me when you said suspending the election, and you said you're just going to have to stay on as council.
Oh, I figured it wouldn't affect you, but
no. But he's looking at suspending the primaries for the primaries that are the closed primaries. And so this report comes in that he plans to suspend the May 16th primary elections to allow lawmakers to pass a new congressional map, and his announcement could come as early as tomorrow, as one day before early voting scheduled to begin. I don't know what the constitutional authority he has to suspend primaries, unless he can say that these primaries are illegal. And if that's the basis, then I guess he would use that as his foundational reasoning. And now we're back.
But doesn't the state have control over its own elections?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So could he do it, or would it have to be the?
I'm saying the Louisiana Constitution.
Oh.
I'm asking, what is the mechanism that the governor has to suspend an election? And there are certain emergencies that you can do that, natural disasters. But I'm guessing that he's going to say, well, the Supreme Court has ruled that this is an illegal district. Therefore, we would be in violation of the Supreme Court decision to enact it, to vote on it and follow through. So we'll see how quickly. I'm sure that there are some maps already in place. I think Representative Johnson referred that, and others have ideas of what those maps should look like.
They believe that it would go to the one that was there in place before. That was drawn in 2022.
That's the easiest one because that's the most recent one based on the most recent census. And so, others will have questioned, well, the whole intent of this was to get rid of Garrett Graves. That was the whole intent, was to knock him out.
Let me please read his statement.
Okay.
keep going. I'm gonna pull it up here.
And I appreciate you having that information at your fingertips, because that some have said that was the singular motivation for this.
Well, here's his statement. The Supreme Court decision today is exactly what was expected. No surprises here. The state was never required to draw new congressional maps in the first place, and the map that was drawn looked like children with crayons have been given the assignment. Now our state has wasted millions of dollars defending a map that was blatantly unconstitutional, something we knew 2 years ago when Woody Jenkins testified to the legislature and neglected and ignored voters and split up the representation for our communities completely unnecessarily. He ends with, I'm pleased that today's court decision restores common sense to our congressional districts, and I truly hope the state won't be encouraged to farm this out to our kindergartners again. Maybe they could try Morris Bart. That was former Congressman Garrett Graves after the Supreme Court decision.
The Morris Bart dig was spot. I mean,
what an interesting state. What got interesting?
If you are bored, it's because you're not following the news.
That's right. Yeah.
We've got to take a break. Before we do that, I have completely forgotten to tell y'all that we have some special guests coming up at 8 o'clock. We're going to be joined by Deborah Randolph, the president, CEO of the Cenla Chamber of Commerce, and we're excited that she'll be with us. But she's also going to be bringing in a special guest. That is Randy McDougall, who's the general manager out at Union Tank, also known as UTLX Manufacturing. And they want to talk about what a huge deal has happened that potentially has saved 350 jobs. We won't steal their thunder. We'll let them come on at 8 o'clock and have that interview. We'll be back with more for the final part of this segment on Talkback right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Hello, I'm Mike Nichols, and I'm a candidate for Congress in the 4th Congressional District. With over 40 years of public service, I will fight for the people, not big government. As our congressman, I will work to make sure that the government spends our tax dollars wisely. I'm an American First candidate, with District 4 being a close second. Please vote for Mike Nichols, the right Mike for the job. Early voting begins May 2nd, and Election Day is May 16th. I paid for and endorsed this message.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
Starting a business shouldn't feel overwhelming. At Janneycan Gulf Coast, we give you a clear, proven path to ownership. You receive guaranteed initial accounts, local support, and the training you need to succeed from day one. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn steady careers into thriving businesses, and you could be next. Start your journey today at JanneycanCleans.com.
Janneycan, the king of clean. At Trinity Health Pace Alexandria, we listen first, then bring the right care to you. From medical care and social activities at our center to home care, transportation, and more. We help seniors stay healthy, independent, and connected to what they love. From empathy to expertise, we see all of you. Call 318-206-1020. That's 318-206-1020. Or visit thpace-alexandria.org to learn more about Trinity Health Pace Alexandria.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Consumer alert. The Louisiana Department of Insurance warns consumers to beware of unlicensed companies marketing themselves as health insurers. Innovative Partners and LifeX Research are two such companies targeting those seeking health insurance policies in Louisiana. The healthcare products they offer may not deliver the coverage you expect, leaving you responsible for full medical bills. If you have interacted with Innovative Partners, LifeX Research, or any suspicious entity offering health insurance, report it to LDI Consumer Services at 800-259-5300, extension 3. Before signing up for any healthcare policy, make sure the company is licensed to conduct business in Louisiana with the LDI Active Company Search Tool, available online at ldi.la.gov and on the LDI Connect mobile app. For questions or concerns about any insurance policy, reach out to the Louisiana Department of Insurance at 800-259-5300.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
All right, good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back. It's been a busy first hour of the show. We're in the final segment. We have another caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning, Nathan. Ed Tarpley here.
Hey, my brother.
Couple of things real quick. I was at the Supreme Court October of last year when the case was argued. It was pretty clear then that the justices were going to move in the direction that they moved. So I don't think anybody's really surprised that they declared the district unconstitutional. The 6th district has been a total disaster from the beginning. And let's face it, the responsibility is due completely and totally to Jeff Landry. Governor Jeff Landry pushed this to the legislature, and he defended the district all the way up until just before the Supreme Court had their hearing last October. He and Attorney General Liz Murrell changed the position of the state like just the week before it was heard. So a couple of things real quick. You have to remember the case now goes to the 3-judge panel in Shreveport, and they can issue a ruling within the next few days, redrawing the map. Okay, so they don't have to wait on the legislature to do anything. The federal court actually has jurisdiction right now, and they could take care of it. And look, with regard to suspending the election, the only thing that needs to be suspended is the race for Congress, not the race from all these other elections. So I don't think that Governor Landry has the authority just to suspend the entire election. The only thing that is of concern here is the election for Congress in all the congressional districts, not all the other elections that are taking place. We have a Supreme Court election, we have public service commissioner elections, we have mayor elections, we have all of the elections that are in place according to state law. Those elections should go forward. There should not be any change on those elections.
So, go ahead, Stephen.
Oh, no, I think it's funny you called in. I was like, man, we should have called Ed and got his opinion on this. And to me, it just felt like I was going crazy the past couple of years watching this thing because the judge told the legislature, whoever, that this needs to be redrawn on racial lines, but then everyone acted crazy when people said it was racially gerrymandered. It just was really hard for me to comprehend how this just seemed like common sense to me.
Well, actually, there was no decision by the federal judge in Baton Rouge that there was no order to the legislature to do this. All she said is that she appeared to say in a preliminary ruling that the 2022 map did not pass muster. But what should have happened is the Attorney General and the governor should have defended the 2022 map. The original map is what we should have defended. But instead, Governor Landry put pressure on everybody to pass the gerrymandered district. And look, we all know why that was. He wanted to help his friend Cleo Fields, who helped him out when he ran for governor. That's common knowledge. It's common knowledge in Baton Rouge that that's what happened.
All right, well, our music is playing, which means that we are wrapping up the show. Ed, thank you so much for calling in. I hope you have us on speed dial because we appreciate when you give us your commentary and insights.
Well, great. Well, let's see what happens with the federal court in Shreveport because they get to make the decision. That's who's going to make the decision.
All right, thank you so much. Ed Tarpley, our caller here on Talkback this morning. And coming up after the top of...
You've been listening to Talkback.
The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HD3, Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock.
The head of U.S. Central Command will head to the White House today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. As President Trump insists Iran has not come far enough in the negotiations.
At this moment, there will never be a deal unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports.
Today, President Trump will be briefed on possible military plans by CENTCOM commander. According to reports, though, he has already expressed a preference for an extended naval blockade, saying it is more effective at degrading what's left of the Iranian regime and also reducing its revenue generators like its oil.
But Iran's supreme leader's defiant. In a statement read on state TV today, calling the U.S. military operation a shameful failure, vowing to protect Iran's nuclear and missile capabilities. Oil prices are down now, but they've surged this week, and so is the price at the gas pump, up 8 more cents today. AAA's national average for regular at $4.30 per gallon. A new report just out shows inflation rose last month at the fastest pace in nearly 3 years, but the economy's gotten stronger.
The gross domestic product rose 2% in the first quarter, bouncing back from a weak 0.5% annual increase at the end of last year.
Fox's Jenny Casola. Cole Allen returns to court in 2 hours, the suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack, for a detention hearing. As sources tell Fox, a shot he fired did hit a Secret Service officer who was spared by his bulletproof vest.
Investigators argue Allen planned extensively for this attack, checking the president's schedule online and watching live coverage of the dinner before storming past a security checkpoint. The Justice Department says a Secret Service officer saw Allen fire the shotgun in the direction of the stairs leading to the ballroom before he was arrested.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. The House has voted to reauthorize a controversial foreign surveillance program considered key for national security ahead of an expiration at midnight. The House also approved a budget blueprint to fund immigration enforcement using a process Democrats can't block. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hand.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
More congressional districts are being redrawn in more states. Florida's legislature has approved new maps that could give Republicans 4 more House seats in the November elections, after Democrats countered redistricting that benefits the GOP in Texas and Missouri with voter-approved plans in California and Virginia to add more Democrat seats in the House. The Supreme Court has paved the way for even more congressional changes that could benefit Republicans.
Which was a despicable decision. That is a return to Jim Crow.
That's Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
Shortly after the Supreme Court threw out Louisiana's redrawn congressional map, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves called for a special session on redistricting next month. Wednesday's 6-3 decision was split along ideological lines, with the conservative members of the court siding with the Trump administration, agreeing that Louisiana's voting district map was an unconstitutional gerrymander that violates the voting rights of non-black voters who challenged it. The decision effectively guts the second section of the Voting Rights Act, which had contained minority voter protections. Mississippi's special session is set to happen 3 weeks after the court's decision, around May 20th. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
James Comey is free. The day after appearing in court to face charges, he threatened the president in an online post last year showing seashells in the form of the numbers 8647. The 47th president, Trump, wrote that 86 is a mob term for kill him. Comey did not enter a plea.
People like Comey have created tremendous danger, I think, for politicians and others. Comey is a dirty cop. He's
the
a
judge
very
not
dirty
seeing
cop.
the need for any conditions of release other than noting any firearms in the 65-year-old's home should be removed. Comey's lawyer plans to submit motions in federal court alleging vindictive and selective prosecution.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin on Wall Street. After the reports on the economy, Dow futures are up almost more than 300 points for the Dow. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jeff Palermo. The Supreme Court's decision to strike down Louisiana's congressional map fell along ideological lines, and so is the reaction to that ruling. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muriel says the ruling vindicates a position that the state has taken from the beginning, in that it shouldn't be sorting voters by race.
I think this takes us back where we always have been and should be, and that is with legislatures following traditional redistricting principles, all within the boundaries of the federal and state constitution.
Democratic Congressman Cleo Field says the ruling significantly narrows Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act was the only way for a state like Louisiana to get a black person elected to the U.S. House.
Name me one black congressman who's been elected to Congress from Louisiana in a majority white district. Not one. Louisiana's minority population is over a third.
Fields' argument has been that since the state's population is 1/3 black, the state's House delegation should also be 1/3 black. LRN. The Supreme Court ruling that throws out Louisiana's congressional map is not good news for Democrat Cleo Fields, who represents the district at the heart of the case.
LSU political science professor Robert Hogan says since the Supreme Court has ruled that race played too much of a factor in drawing the 6th congressional district, it is unlikely the makeup of the new 6th district will result in a Democrat representing it.
Finding a constituency that will elect him to Congress, I think, is going to be very difficult.
Could a new map be drawn this year? Hogan says the White House will play a role.
I think a lot.
To put more pressure on the federal government to provide more money for the construction of the bridge.
We should be able to shake a few more dollars out there to shore up our investment and get it paid off quicker so we can start working on other infrastructure projects around the area.
Louisiana Radio Network.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and giving loggers a steady market again. It's not just a plant, it's a promise to our land, our people, and our future. Visit beaverlakerenewable.com and find out how we're putting central Louisiana back on the map.
Good morning. Cloudy skies for the most part today. We'll see the sun poke through from time to time. We do have about a 40% chances of showers during the afternoon hours. 69 the afternoon high. Tonight, 60% chances of rain. Overnight lows down to 56. And then Friday, 100% chance of rain and a lot cooler. Afternoon high temperatures only near 60. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning and welcome back to Hour 2 of Talkback here on this Thursday, the final day of April, because tomorrow, let it be May, is the saying that going around. Those who know the song. I didn't know the song.
No, it's going to be May.
Oh, it's going to be May. See? I didn't know the song. All right. So, but, however, we are excited on this final day of April to invite in the studio Randy McDougall, the general manager at UTLX, Union Tank, as we know him locally, and Deborah Randolph. Deborah, earlier I said president, CEO. I couldn't remember the official title.
It's president.
Okay, I got it right the first time.
You did.
Chief bottle washer. And,
yeah, I do it all.
Door coordinator. Scissors carrier when have to be.
Scissors carrier, cleaning up, taking the flowers back off the table from an event. Yeah.
I've seen you do it all. So we're delighted to have you guys here in the studio this morning. And Deborah, we were talking with you the other day, and you talked about this amazing story that a lot of people in Central Louisiana may not realize happened that helps keep was it 350 jobs in Central Louisiana?
Just over 300.
Just over. So Randy McDougall, the general manager out at UTLX, tell us about what happened.
Yeah, first of all, good morning. So about a month ago, the Trump administration signed a proclamation that applied Section 232 tariffs to any tank cars that are manufactured outside the U.S. It was a big win for us. Over the last 20 years, our competitors have moved over to Mexico to utilize cheaper labor costs, and it's drove our production volumes down. So about a year ago, this process started where you could put in public comments, and then there's a rebuttal period to explain to the administration how tariffs have affected businesses, local businesses. And throughout the process, it was a long, drawn-out process, but it all came to fruition earlier this month.
Right. So the original tariffs that were put in place by the Trump administration did have an impact on UTLX that was a different and greater impact than what was on those who were producing tank cars outside the country. And this new inclusion of tank cars produced outside the country for Section 232 levels that playing field. And these folks, these are the good guys. They have remained committed to producing tank cars in the United States of America. And what's better, right here in our community, providing quality jobs. Right. And so this is great news. And we thank the members of our congressional delegation because they all understood this issue with UTLX, and the UTLX company has great leadership and great people who are conveying that message, and we supported that and added our voices to it because of the importance of this company to our community that is located out at England Air Park.
And I'm sure it didn't hurt that part of our delegation, at least one member, is the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
It does not hurt at all. It does not hurt at all. And look, we're grateful to the Trump administration and to Commerce Secretary Lutnick for this proclamation and this inclusion because, Randy, this increases the cost for those companies that have moved outside the United States when they are now exporting those cars back into the United States.
Correct. When they build them and import in the U.S., there's a 25% tariff applied to the full value of the car. So it truly levels the playing field for us.
And to help people understand Section 232, that's not a new law. That was actually been around since the 1960s. And it allows the president to apply tariffs specifically, as I recall, to derivative steel products. I think it applies to copper. There's a few other things it applies to, but you guys fit directly within that category.
Yes, exactly. This was essentially built for us. This was the prime example of what was happening with steel going into foreign countries, building a product and bringing it into the U.S.
I don't want to ask you a question that I hate to ask a question you may not know the answer to, but I'm assuming that NAFTA and the free trade agreements previously are what had given the leg up to specifically the Mexican-created rail cars. And I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't know that specific answer, but that's my assumption, I'll just say.
Okay.
When that it was the North American Free Trade Alliance said things that were built within a certain space in Mexico did not have tariffs on them. Well, what did that do? Who was it? Ross Perot said there'd be a giant sucking sound of jobs going to Mexico.
That's right. That's correct.
He was right. So no, even though he had a squeaky voice, he was right when he said it. So tell me, UTLX, you have a little over 350 employees now?
A little over 300.
300. Okay. And have you already seen an increase of orders since this?
There's a lot of activity out there. The industry is still trying to digest the price changes of tank cars, but activity is increasing. We're seeing more inquiries, so everything's looking good.
When it comes to building tank cars, is a tank car a tank car a tank car, or are there different tank cars for different products?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of variability in tank cars. They all look the same when you're sitting at a crossing and they're going by, but probably the best way to break it up is there's general purpose cars, just propylene glycol, all your normal type of chemicals. or crude oil products. And then there's pressurized cars, which are LPG, ethylene oxide, gases like that are compressed in the tank cars.
And Deborah, you could probably speak to this too. How important is a company like Union Tank for them to stay in Central Louisiana?
Critically important. And I was actually there when the announcement was made in 2004 that the company would come. I wasn't in this job, obviously. And then I was there when there was a celebration after the plant opened. And then Governor Kathleen Blanco was there when that first tank car rolled off the assembly line. And there was so much excitement about this company then, but there is still excitement about this company now. And there was a celebration of this victory and what it means to UTLX at the plant on Tuesday. And I've never seen employees more excited, Randy. They were cheering. They love their jobs there. And it's clear to see that the company values them and they value their company.
Yeah, it was great to get a win for all of our employees. They were super excited that we can start looking forward to adding to our workforce and producing more tank cars.
Exactly. And there's ripple effect of this company in our community in terms of talk about Hayes Manufacturing, Tri-State, and others.
So Hayes Manufacturing is a primary supplier for us. They're a partner. We collaborate. They provide a lot of parts for our tank cars. Tri-State supports us and countless other businesses around the community.
That was going to be my next question, is what are the tertiary levels of support or partnerships? And Hayes comes to mind because, 25 years ago, I don't think they were half the footprint they are today. And a lot of that growth would be attributable directly to that partnership with UTLX.
Yeah, that's correct.
Aside of that, Deborah, would be things like subdivisions. I know that I think the North Park subdivision was built specifically with workers in mind. I'm not saying there was any kind of partnership, but it was a speculation by an investor or developer that said, hey, there's a bunch of new jobs. Workers might like to live close to where they work. Let me build this new subdivision. And then there's just the money that these people put into the community. I'm assuming you may have hired welders and fitters and employees from outside of what we call, Alexander Pineville that may have moved here to work there.
Yeah, and we have a mix. A lot of people that moved here and a lot of people that commute a long ways to come work for us. And I'm included in that. I came over here in 2005 from Houston. I picked up my family, moved over here to build the facility and then eventually operate it. I was one of those people looking for a new home. So it's been great to see.
Now, there was a Texas facility, but in 2020, that was essentially, that operation was folded into the plant here.
Correct. We repurposed that facility into a repair shop. We took the manufacturing equipment, brought it here to Alexandria and expanded. That
also, Deborah, you can speak to this. I think that UTLX plant, Union Tank plant, was kind of one of the first big wins for England Authority.
Absolutely, and played a tremendous role in that, in getting that deal done, as did Governor Blanco at the time, and of course, my late husband, Mayor Ned Randolph at the time, my predecessor at the chamber, Elton Pody, and his staff, Rhonda Reed Curiel, worked on that project. And so there were many community leaders, both local and statewide, who worked on landing UTLX for us because it was looking at other locations at the time.
Yeah, I believe Texas and Louisiana were the
top two, turned out. And so we are so grateful that UTLX made the decision to locate here at England.
Union Tank, as you say, folds their Houston operation into here. It's kind of nice to beat Texas every now and then,
It is. It is.
I know you said you came from Texas, but it's nice to get a win over our cousins to the west. So are there, the feel around the plant's optimism, I'm sure.
Yeah, all the employees are very excited, and it was very evident 2 days ago that they were just ecstatic. We got the best workforce there is in this level playing field, head to head. Our employees will win every time, so it's just great to see it go in that direction.
There's your president and CEO of the company is clearly a person who values the employees and the employees value him. Talk about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you would.
So Neil Finn, our president, he really drove this win, the Section 232 win, starting a year ago. And it wasn't easy. There was our competitors obviously weren't happy. The ones that manufacture down there, the industry was a little hesitant to how pricing would change in a thing like this. But Neil was relentless in getting this pushed through, and it's all about our employees.
And look, the locals here, the chamber, the England Authority, Ralph Hennessy and his team, and our friends over at Louisiana Central, our economic development organization, we were all supporting these efforts and singing the same song and speaking to our members of Congress just to make sure that they knew how strongly we supported what the company was asking in this particular instance.
Well, very good. I've got another question, but we're up against a break. Can you stay for one more segment, Randy and Deborah?
Sure.
All right, we'll stick around. We'll have a little bit more with Randy McDougall and Deborah Randolph from the Chamber. Randy from UTLX right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Hello, I'm Mike Nichols, and I'm a candidate for Congress here in the 4th Congressional District. Linda and I raised 4 children, and we have 5 grandchildren here in District 4. Our great-grandparents helped settle Louisiana's no man's land. We have a long history of being blessed with natural beauty, including forests, streams, and rivers. Let's keep our heritage and culture here in District 4. Please vote for Mike Nichols, the right Mike for the job, number 30 on the ballot. Early voting starts May 2nd, election day is May 16th. I paid for and endorsed this message.
Remember when eating corn right off the cob was one of your favorite summertime treats? Or how about taking a big bite out of a crisp, fresh apple? If it's been a while since you enjoyed these delightful activities, chances are your teeth are no longer up for the task. But now there's great news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville are Cenla's dental implant experts. They're both highly trained and experienced in the procedure. Now with thousands of completely satisfied, delighted patients. They make dental implant surgery simple by using today's most current technologies, along with in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. You'll be in and out before you know it, without all the anxiety. Plus, at Today's Dental, their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Go back to crunching all your favorite foods. Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 448-4540.
Hey, y'all. Spring festival season is coming to a close with these upcoming events. April 30th through May 2nd, Alex River Fest in Alexandria. April 30th through May 3rd, Thibodeau Fireman's Fair. May 1st through May 3rd, Red, White, and Blue Air Show in Monroe. And May 2nd, Sunset Herb and Garden Festival. Visit festivals.explorelouisiana.com and make your plans to laissez les bons temps relais.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, welcome back to Talkback. We're delighted to have you on the air with us this morning, and delighted to have in studio Randy McDougall, General Manager of UTLX, and Deborah Randolph of Central Louisiana Chamber of Commerce. Randy, one of the questions I have is how many large manufacturing sites are there in the United States that are doing mass volumes of rail cars?
So we're the largest plant that's still left in the U.S. Our competitors do have a small U.S. footprint. When they relocated to Mexico, they did left some capacity here, but we're by far the largest.
So do you think that they may think, well, you know what? I guess if the prices are the same, let's move back some production back to the States?
Yeah, I would imagine that they're working very quickly to understand their best next move, which might be moving back to the United States.
So, and that would have a ripple effect, as Deborah talked about a while ago. Many other communities may benefit with increased jobs.
Yes,
These are good jobs.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. When you talk about, and Deborah talks, I hear her all the time talking about collaborations and partnerships. Aside from, say, Hayes Manufacturing and Tri-State, what other partnerships do you guys have and that are valuable to you?
So the community in general, but Deborah's short selling herself, the help that she gave getting this through and getting us in front of the right people, and the rest of the community, the CLTCC, Louisiana Central, just all the support in the region has been impactful for us achieving this.
And you work closely with CLTCC relative to your workforce for the plant.
Yes, CLTCC is an exceptional partner with helping us develop our workforce, setting up training programs, bringing in welders. They're right next to us along the way, helping us.
I remember 10, 12, 15 years ago, I couldn't put a number on it, but sometime back, there was talk about the fight for welders between you guys and Crest and Hayes. And it's like everybody needed welders and they weren't being pumped out fast enough. Well, it's kind of like if you can't fight your opponent, you decide to join with Hayes.
Absolutely.
That was a pretty brilliant move. And then CLTC has increased their manufacturing capacity output or their training output. And do you have enough adequate welders now, or are y'all always hiring?
Yeah, no, we're good right now. But you're absolutely right. Competing over the same welders is not good for anybody in the area. So we're all good partners with the weldings, and we focused our effort with the CLTC and the welding school on developing enough welders for the community. But right now, yes, we're fully employed, and with CLTC's partnership, when we do start increasing in volume, it's generally I wouldn't say easy, but we managed to get the employees we need to increase.
And there's turnover in every business. I mean, there's retirements, there's relocations. It always happens. So just keeping and maintaining the workforce of 300 plus means that there's always room for somebody to put a job application in.
Yeah, and actually this year is our 20-year anniversary. And I just looked at this the other day. We have 50 employees that have been there since the startup. But what that also means is they're getting closer to retirement. So we're trying to plan and kind of group around how we need to try to replace and hire new people to replace all that talent.
But that says so much about the company that you have employees who have been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
When the plant was established. And this is a great community partner. I applaud you. This company supports education locally, and a host of charitable organizations, is very involved with the chamber. In fact, Randy's on our chamber board of directors.
Yeah, we have a program called UTLX Cares, and it's where all our employees get together to help the community. So we'll go to the food bank and pack up food boxes for folks. So there's a lot of involvement. There's probably 30, 40 people that are actively involved in that.
That's wonderful. Well, Randy, thank you for coming in this morning and sharing that story with us. We have a couple more minutes left, Deborah. I'm going to give you the opportunity to share. Is there any other big news happening in the chamber world, or stuff that you want to kind of talk about?
The nominations for Busy Awards are now open, so please nominate your favorite business. You will have received that an email from us, but you can access the nomination platform from our website as well. And so get those nominations in, because nominations will close in a few weeks.
And those nominations come from chamber members?
Correct.
Okay.
And
it's got to be hard to be a chamber member, isn't it? Isn't it really hard to be a chamber member?
No, it is not, of course. Thank you for setting me up with that question. No, it's very easy to be a chamber member. You can call us, you can email us. Debbie Neal Garland is our membership director. She does a great job. She's out visiting businesses every day. Current chamber members and visiting with new businesses in our community as well, and she can easily sign you up. It takes just a few minutes.
She's a delightful person that folks will enjoy visiting with.
She is, and we appreciate the outpouring to her, having lost her home to a fire recently, and it's a complete loss. And so people have been very, very kind to her and to her husband.
Wow.
In the wake of that tragedy.
Yeah, that was a big, big loss, and she's carried on with dignity and grace. So, well, thank you guys on the chamber. I think some of the big things that stand out to me as well are y'all put on some big events whenever you have the opportunity to meet the legislators.
Yes.
And I'm sure when this session wraps up, you'll have a kind of wrap up.
Yes. Central Louisiana Day at the legislature was on April 21st, and we had about 100
business and community leaders join us down at the Capitol, and it was a great day. And those with us got to hear from a host of legislators and engage in some valuable dialogue there. And so it was a good one. We will host a legislative appreciation luncheon in July. And so people can watch. We'll send the information out on that. And each member of the legislature who joins us for that will be given an opportunity to summarize what was accomplished at the legislature. So that'll be coming up this summer. And again, the Busy Awards will be June 26th, but nominations are open now. And I want to mention, to close this out, that there's something special planned for the America 250 celebration at Union Tank Car. There will be a special painted tank car, right?
Yes, we're in the planning stages right now, but we will have a big 250 celebration. We're going to decorate a tank car with America 250 and have a good time. Invite the community to come join us
and celebrate American tank car production.
American Tank Car Manufacturing.
Randy McDougall from UTLX, Deborah Randolph, the perennial face of Chamber of Commerce, always making things happen. Thank you, Deborah.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
We'll be back with more Talk Back after this.
Good morning. Investors are eyeing some mixed economic data on inflation and economic growth, but at the same time, there is some positivity on Wall Street about tech, with Google's parent Alphabet reporting high demand for cloud and artificial intelligence, boosting shares. And Amazon shares also gaining a sales rose at Amazon Web Services, as it also spent big time to expand data center capacity. On the other hand, Microsoft projecting modest cloud acceleration amid AI jitters, and Facebook parent Meta shares plunging on rising concerns over an AI spending spree. Wingstop says the war in Iran is pushing up gas prices and straining household budgets to a point where consumers can no longer afford to buy chicken wings. Rising gas prices hurting the $230 billion recreational boating industry as well, with people staying off the water. And Amazon is weighing an Apprentice reboot hosted by Donald Trump Jr. Wall Street Journal says discussions are still in early stages, and the Trump family hasn't been approached yet. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care, along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients, and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built a foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JaneyKingCleans.com.
Janney King, the king of clean.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Broker Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Good morning. Cloudy skies for the most part today. We'll see the sun poke through from time to time. We do have about a 40% chances of showers during the afternoon hours. 69 the afternoon high. Tonight, 60% chances of rain. Overnight lows down to 56. And then Friday, 100% chance of rain and a lot cooler. Afternoon high temperatures only near 60. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
.970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, welcome back to Talkback, and we just had a wonderful conversation with Deborah Randolph of the Cenla Chamber of Commerce and Randy McDougall over at Union Tank. Really enjoyed that conversation with them, celebrating those good things that are happening around the area. I wanted to mention a couple of things that have come in. I had a teacher, Stephen, send me a message, says, as I'm listening to y'all on the radio, I can tell you my first graders definitely know the 3 branches of government. We have a great curriculum for history and government called Bayou Bridges at our Montessori school. Always love hearing y'all in the morning. Have a great day. So there's a first grade teacher.
There you go. All these private schools getting it right. So, yeah.
Well, and that goes back to that caller talking about, man on the street interviews. So appreciate it.
As a TV journalist, my least favorite thing back in the day was to do man on the street interviews.
Really?
Because you would have like a story that was national or statewide, and you had to get some reaction to it.
And you had a hard time.
So they would say,
somebody that knew what was going on.
Well, yeah, they'd be like, "Go get some MOS," is what we called it. And so we'd sigh, and we'd have to like call the business. We'd usually go to Max in Alexandria, like, "Hey, we're gonna chill in y'all's parking lot to get some interviews." And they're like, "Okay." And then you just have to randomly go up to people, stick a camera in their face, like, "Hey, you want to talk about tariffs today?" And most of them say no. I would beg. I'd be like, "Look, I need to get this done in the next hour. I'm going to not make my deadline. I'm begging you to go on camera." And the ones that do want to go on camera, who don't even think twice about it, are the ones that probably should not go on camera. So MOS was a bane of our existence.
Pulling back the
That's why I don't do them now.
Right.
I don't.
That's true. I've never seen you do. Yeah. Well, no, I think I saw you do one. I forget which one it was. I think I remember seeing you talking to somebody through their car window, but I don't remember which one that was.
Yeah, and that's the one I kind of had to. I was like, oh gosh, I got to bother these people, wait in line with their scared kids. And that's why I don't do it for a lot of like big news stories, is because I don't want to make the situation more traumatic.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right, so we said that we were going to talk about this. The phone call is going to come in. Your phone calls always go first, so let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Yeah, well, they say 10% of the fishermen catch 90% of the fish.
Uh-huh.
And I suspect that 10% of the people pay attention to the news, and 90% don't. And so that puts somebody like Stephen in a bad position, trying to find somebody to comment on whatever is going on. Now, I'd be willing to bet that you could go to your local, any place that people go in and out regularly, and ask them about Cleo Fields' voting district or representative district. And if they even knew who Cleo Fields was, they'd have difficulty knowing that there was an issue with its unconstitutionality.
And that's why sometimes the ignorance can be part of the news story. If I have like 4 or 5 people I have on camera saying, I don't know anything about District 6, and that's part of it. Like, well, actually, no one really cares, you know?
Yeah. So. Well, I think it is confusing in Central Louisiana specifically. A lot of folks don't realize, because of the way that 6th District snakes through our community, you got Julia Letlow on one side, and you got Clay Higgins on the other side, and you know, Fields is right up the middle.
One of my favorite ignorant MOS responses, and ignorance not negative, it's just, it is what it is, you don't know. We went to the Donald Trump rally in Lake Charles because he was on the stump politicking for Eddie Rispone, and it was a packed house. And I went up to this lady who was like, had the Trump stuff on. I was like, hey, what do you think about the candidate? Do you support him? Because he was running against John Bel Edwards. And she goes, who? And I was like, the candidate for governor. And she's like, oh, we're here to see Trump. And she goes, what's his name? Spumoni or what? And so that's kind of like part of the story, not to make her look bad. It's just, he ended up losing, right? But people were just excited to see Trump. It didn't really correlate into the candidate that he was politicking for.
And actually, I was mistaken. I think the Letlow district wraps all the way around the 6th district. No, it doesn't. Let me think for a second. No, it's Letlow, and then it's Mike Johnson's who wraps around this. So people are just confused. I get it. I understand. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Yeah, you guys cut me off.
Oh no, I just sitting here talking. I didn't touch anything. So it just I heard a click. So I don't know what happened.
Well, I managed to get back in time to hear Stephen's commentary, and it's apropos, I think. I wonder how many people, if you went, you take Walmart, that's a large group of people going in and out of it. I wonder how many of them even know that there's a war associated with Iran.
Mm-hmm. I tell you where I think you could find people to interview, Stephen, would be the library. I think if people going to the library might know what's going on because they're going to the library.
Maybe.
Where are your best interviews at?
We always went to Max, and I'm trying to think of other places that we went to. Just a busy spot. You got to go where the people are.
Okay.
Well, has anybody pontificated about what's going to happen with the 6th district and whether or not there's actually going to be an election?
We talked about it briefly. Yeah, we did. Apparently, Ed Tarpley called in and said that it's going back to the Shreveport district, and they're waiting for a ruling to come down today, probably from that, or because the Supreme Court sent it back, remanded it back. And then Governor Landry has indicated that he will suspend the House primary. Make sure people understand it's only the House primary that would be affected. And so that's the thought process right now. We'll probably find out tomorrow for sure if he does that, because early voting starts Saturday. So he would need to do that before early voting started. And then the House of Representatives or the legislature in Louisiana would have to convene either in special session, unless they can do it in this session, and approve a new map. Or it may simply be that the judge says, go back to the 2022 map. And then it's a moot point. They don't have to be redrawn, but there'll have to be a new primary date for that election. So that's the scuttlebutt we're hearing right now.
Yeah, I know that Moon was carrying on and on in the past about this would likely negate the entire election process. So I guess maybe he was wrong in that position.
Well, I think they can narrowly the ruling is tailored to just the House districts. And I don't think it would have any impact on the senatorial statewide race or even local races that are taking place around the state.
Well, you bring up a point, local races. Politics is local.
Right.
And I don't think Trump's endorsement of anybody actually does anything positive for people in local races.
Well, and I don't know how local he gets. I've never seen him endorse anybody at a race level lower than the House representative seat. Well, it seems like he has done a large county seat once or twice, but like you, I think the closer you get to the people, the less impactful those endorsements can be. So,
well, May the 16th will either be a gigantic surprise for the people who keep pounding my Facebook page with she's good, he's good, they're good, they're no good, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
A new ad just came out on Fleming yesterday that has him on camera saying that we need more illegals. And if I get a chance, I'll play that for you. We got to take this break. Caller, thank you so much. Sure. Always appreciate hearing from you. We'll be back with the next call and then maybe talk about ball after that.
KSYL.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
This is TV's Dr. Travis Stork for Eggland's Best Eggs. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talk Back. We are going back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, Nathan, double dipping here, but I just saw something posted. Well, I think it was Tiger droppings. And I thought it sounded like something you would say about this whole kerfluffle. It said Louisiana legislature trying to cure racism with racism is like trying to launder dirty laundry in swamp water and get it clean.
Well, I can't take credit for that discrimination. That was one of our other callers says you can't use discrimination to cure discrimination. But so was that a Facebook or a Twitter post that they made?
It was no, not Facebook or Twitter. It was just on. Well, I think Tiger droppings on the web. On their website.
Okay.
I just thought, like, what a accurate statement.
So say it one more time so I can get it right.
It said, the Louisiana legislature trying to cure past racism using racism is like trying to clean dirty laundry by washing it in swamp water.
Some of the poignant things people come up with are pointed, right? They to the point.
That was right. To the point.
Very good.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Okay, I realize this is a double dip, so if you cut me off, that's fine. But the point is on that ad you were talking about, Fleming saying we need more illegals.
Yeah.
What happened is he made that comment and immediately corrected it. Those who are using that ad have just skirty politics, kind of like that swamp water and trying to get a white sheet clean.
I'm really glad you said that because I've seen that happen. We've all seen that happen where someone has a misspeak and then they edit out the correction. So if that's the case, wow, I appreciate you sharing that because that'll keep me from playing it because I don't want to play something that the way it came through, I could tell it was heavily edited, but it didn't look like anything was added to it. But sometimes when you edit and take something out, it has just as big of an effect as when you edit something and add something in. So
I mean, politics is politics, and whoever gets elected gets elected. That's kind of like that person that somewhat resembles a famous clown from some years ago who's currently our governor.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and I think that's there are many who have a sentiment like that. I tell you what.
All right, we got some breaking news real quick.
Sure. Okay, let's go to that.
Governor Landry just put out a statement from Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muriel on the decision from the Supreme Court. It says that the Supreme Court victory for Louisiana has an immediate consequence for the state. The Supreme Court previously stated an injunction against the state's enforcement of the current congressional map. By the court's order, however, that stay automatically terminated with yesterday's decision. Accordingly, the state is currently enjoined from carrying out congressional elections under the current map. We're working together with the legislature and the Secretary of State's office to develop a path forward.
Wow.
So it looks
so
like
he says we're actually enjoined from having it.
Yeah.
So he thinks it's a moot point.
Yeah.
You can't have it. Okay.
No.
We have two calls on the line, but I promised we would talk about this story. So let me one of our callers asked me my particular perspective. Let me tell you what the story is, and then I'll answer his question. Then we'll go back to the phone calls. So yesterday, a post was made by a local pastor who lives in Ball, and you've probably seen it already. It's still lighting up. Comments are coming in. And essentially, what I gather is from trying to summarize a long post, he quoted Isaiah 3:12, which says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them." And so his summation is that he believes, as I understand it, that when women are in control of government positions, that's a sign of God's judgment. And the caller asked me what I thought about that. As a pastor, And I don't affirm to that. I think this was more metaphorical language, especially considering the time of the time it was written, when certainly women did not have the status or the perspective, the view in a positive way. But we've seen throughout scriptures, God uses women in magnificent ways and children. I mean, Deborah is one of the greatest examples of judges in the book of Judges. Asa became king when he was 8 years old and one of the best kings that Judah ever had. In the New Testament, we see that God used women in stunning ways, both in the Magnificat, which, Mary had a prophecy that is still resonating in people's hearts. The first witnesses to the resurrection were women who typically would not be considered verifiable witnesses in courts of law. And so if this was a fake, as Frank Turk said, why would you use women to back it up if this was all made up? And then we see Jesus restoring women to places of honor and dignity and worth. So when it comes to government, I believe, first of all, that was spoken to a specific people at a specific time. I don't know that it's a worldwide injunction. And then secondly, it seems to be more metaphorical because at the time that Isaiah wrote, neither women nor children were governing. So it's more metaphorical, it feels like. And that's my take. I may be wrong, but that's how I understand that Isaiah 3:12 passage. There are other things about church governance that should not apply to the world. They apply to the church governance, and people can have debates about that. But that's the perspective the caller asked me to give mine. I shared that with you. We've got to take a break.
I want to say one thing too.
Okay.
That the reason why we're even commenting on it, we're not going to comment on every pastor's statement.
Right.
But his brother is running for the mayor of Ball, and Mark Mercer also sent out some sort of a statement as well. And so just because it's dealing with a major political election in our area, it was news pertinent.
Yeah, that's the journalist that you are to give the context, as I didn't give. And so it is Mark's brother, Jeffrey, who made the statement. Mark later in the day made a statement that no one speaks for his campaign but himself. So he's seeming, you interpret that as you will. It's heavily talked about. It's been sent to me many, many, many times. I answered our caller's question. We will take the break and then we'll take more calls after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Pineville is growing and people are taking notice. In just over a year, Mayor Joe Bishop has worked to make Pineville a place where businesses can grow and new opportunities can take root. By being accessible, cutting through red tape, and working directly with business owners, projects are moving forward and investment is happening. From local entrepreneurs to major employers, Pineville is building real momentum. Let's keep it going. Vote Joe Bishop for mayor.
I'm Joe Bishop, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Joe Bishop.
Problems. Everybody hates them, but from time to time, everybody's got some. And that's why everybody needs to know about Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Heating or cooling problem? Call Southern Air. Plumbing or drain problem? It's Southern Air again. Your power's out and you need a generator? Guess who? And you can keep those problems away this winter with a heating tune-up. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling now at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talkback.
All right, good morning. Welcome back to Talkback. The final segment is here, and we've got callers patiently.
Another context, and we'll drop the Ball situation. His brother's opponent is a woman, of course, Gail Wilking, who's the current mayor. So this is all the context for that post, and it is what it is.
There's a lot going on in Ball, and we haven't covered. As we get closer to the election, I'm sure it will be newsworthy, and it'll be talked about. And this isn't a call-in show, so we don't. I would be surprised if nobody called in about some of that stuff at some point.
Qualifying is in July.
Here we go. That's right. Here we go back to the phone line. Good morning. And if you just heard the that means you're on Talkback. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello there.
Yes, sir. I was riding my truck listening to your show. I listen to it every day. I was coming back from the gym, listen to it while I'm at the gym, my earphones. Did I understand the guy a couple of callers ago insinuate that people from Walmart are ignorant that shop there? Was that what he was saying?
I think it was more of a general public that is not in tune with I don't want to defend his
Well,
comment, but if that's
let
how
me
you
tell
took it, I didn't hear it that way because I shop at Walmart.
My wife and I are college degree people, and we shop there all the time because of the prices and the selection. So I wanted to let him know we're not ignorant at all. Listen to your show every day. So, and he's the one I think that calls in every day almost, and very negative about many things, and trying to show off all his knowledge that he has about different subjects. So I really was insulted. I'm sure a lot of people would be too, if that's what he meant. So I would like for him to call back and restate that a different way, maybe. Just to let him know. I don't mean to be ugly in your show, but I enjoy y'all show very much. Listen to it every day while I'm walking in the gym. So anyway,
thank you for that. Let me just mention one thing, though. There's a website called peopleofwalmart.com where people take pictures of people at Walmart who are wearing pajamas or wearing odd clothing. And I think it's become a trope almost to say, that people at Walmart, and that's may have been what he was playing off of. But I agree with you. I think it's wrong to just classify across the board. I bought some stuff yesterday at Walmart. I use their app all the time.
Also taking pictures of people.
We shop there all the time, like I said. And it's one of the most successful corporations that's ever been.
Well said.
So
all right,
anyway,
well, thank you.
I'm not sure about the call either. I don't remember.
Well, there was a caller. It was on the Man on the Street. Thank you very much, caller. It was the Man on the Street interview, and he said something about if you go to Walmart, you're going to get. I forget what it was. He referenced it, and my thought, what he said was that he was talking about 90-10. 10% of the people have an opinion about something, the other 90% don't. So if you go to these massive places, you're going to not find very many people who have intelligent responses because they're not paying attention. I think that was the gist of it, but he may have taken a swipe. I don't recall. And our other caller just hung up. So I was in a hurry to get through the comment about ball and then to get to that commercial break so that we could get those callers on. And there were two there and one hung up. Sorry about that. Feel free to call back. We've got about 3 minutes left in the program. One of the things I appreciate, it seems like today's show has elicited a lot of calls, including some new callers, and I appreciate them.
Yeah, we had several. That was interesting.
Yeah.
New callers, yeah.
Really good stuff, and I appreciate it. I'm glad the one caller gave the clarification. I'm going to do a little research on the Fleming thing. I got that text yesterday, and it had Fleming on camera. Somebody had recorded him saying, we need more illegals, but the caller was saying that was a clip cut. He later clarified his comment. He may have said migrant workers. He may have said something else. So we will certainly dig into that before we, air something knowingly. If I know it's not cool, then I'm not going to do that. So it's been a great show. It's been very, very busy. There's so many big things happening around the state and around the nation. I'm still stunned. I think the Wright report today was one that made me realize the Supreme Court decision on Louisiana is bigger than Louisiana. He thinks it's going to impact about 20 seats around the United States. Maybe not in 2026, although it certainly affects 2026. But 2028 will certainly be impacted. Also, the whole gerrymandering thing, Stephen, they're talking about how the Democrats have really gotten in an uproar over Texas and Florida, and they're trying to get northern states to go in and gerrymander. The problem is most of them are already gerrymandered, heavily Democratic. There's not really much room to pick up there. There's states up there that are 50% Republican, have zero Republican representation in the House. So this is cataclysmic, it seems like.
Well, it's a subject that we always heard kind of on the fringe of people politically complaining about, that this is one of the biggest problems in America. And you hear it from both sides, that this is one of the biggest problems in America, gerrymandering. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of hit more of the mainstream news talk. And I really don't know how you go about it the proper way. It's a complicated, seems like difficult process. And just from as a layperson looking at it. But
the question I have too, and I'd love Ed Tarpley to opine at some point. So it supposedly,
and you're also assuming that Democrats always vote Republican. Like there's a lot of people that are Democrat here who vote Republican.
Of course.
So it's just kind of the premise is even complicated.
Absolutely, it is. But the legislature responded in reaction to a statement made in a preliminary hearing, not the final hearing, by a judge that seemed to indicate Louisiana is 1/3 black, so it should have 1/3 black representation. Well, that judge was ordering something that the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do. So will there be any ramifications on that judge? Will that judge get any training or correction?
Yeah, and it seems like a nonsensical way to draw a map. And I understand some people who might be for that, what they're thinking, but it's just something that could come back and bite them in the future. Yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense. More destructive than...
It means that we will have more shows to talk about. There's lots of stuff going on, and we'll get a chance to visit.
Bring down the two-party system. We should be basing everything on Democrat and Republican districts. Anyway.
I 100% agree, and that's where I'm not a fan of the closed primary in Louisiana personally. So I like the jungle primary. Everybody can vote for anybody. Hey, tomorrow morning, Al will be back with Steven, and they'll be talking with Matt Robert, the owner of 22 Dragons, talking about the Dragon Boat races coming up this Saturday. That's a great event.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.